Did y'all hear that? Is that creature? I hope not. It's that creature they've been seeing down the swamp, ain't it? What is that? Hello and welcome to another episode of Doomsday T on DC. And this episode is episode 13, and I know it's not quite Friday the 13th, but I'm going to do a little bit of a horror episode since it is the 13th episode. And since Swamp Thing has been in the news the last few weeks, I definitely want to start out with that. And wow, you know, it's a shame how things happen, and whether Warner Brothers, I mean, they didn't do this on purpose. There was an accounting error in North Carolina, and I can't remember the numbers now. I saw it, but it cost the DC maybe $20 million in like tax, I guess, money coming back to them or whatever. So basically, Swamp Thing gets canned by them because of a clerical error. It does look like HBO, CW, is going to pick it up. But what they've shot and what I have saw so far on the DC Universe app, it's got such a good feel to it. Just enough dark, just enough edge. The feel of it is right. Swamp Thing himself looks great. Has a good creepy vibe, a detective vibe to it, or an investigation, investigating, what's going on here at the swamp and everything. What a great show, and what a shame if, I just hope HBO picks it up so we can keep, some of the grittiness to the show. But let's hope that it doesn't get canceled. And another thing out there, and I don't know if this falls under the horror movie genre, but WB put it out, so I'm going to cover it. I know it's not necessarily like comic book news or whatever, but me and my son went and saw the new Godzilla movie, and we grinned ear to ear, and we loved it. And I think we forget. Like I said, I've said similar things before. Everybody's different, and definitely there's no doubt that a good story, good dialogue, a good story, is what you've got to have for a movie. There's no doubt about it. Not everybody has the same intellect, and not everybody has the same, maybe, patience. I don't know if that's the word I'm looking for. A lot of men are visually driven, we know that, so you get movies like The Expendables that I can't hardly watch. Um, but and like John Wick, I can't watch John Wick. I know people don't understand that. Um, but those movies are huge, and those movies make a lot of money, and they have good visuals and everything. On the Godzilla movie, a lot of people are complaining about the story and the acting, and I agree. I mean, the story could have been better. What they used, it's enough to drive the movie. I mean, do I care? I mean, as far as I'm concerned, all the humans can die in the movie. I just want to see an awesome monster fight, and I felt like that's what we got. Um, I mean, I like the story. The story of the monsters to me. I was gonna say the chimera, but the three-headed monster, the main with the alien monster, whatever. The story with that, and Godzilla, that's the main one, and Godzilla gets hurt, but like Mothra and Rodan, they have fights, and all everybody looks great. Um, all the monsters look great, and all the fighting looks wonderful. I mean, with the fighting, I mean, you've got close ups of all the monsters, different angles, different perspectives compared to Osprey, like the airplane. They use these Osprey airplanes a lot in the movie. Um, just compared to other ships in the area, a lot of the movie takes place in Fenway Park in Boston, or in Boston, the city in general, and it just gets tore apart. Um, but I mean, it's 100% on. I mean, me and my son. I mean, like I said, the guys that were beside of us. I guess at the end of the movie, we were talking, and they said that they looked over at my son. They were wondering if maybe he would be scared or something. And they were like, "We looked over at your son, and he was grinning ear to ear." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "If you'd have looked down one more person, you just saw somebody else grinning ear to ear, and that would have been me." I enjoyed the movie. It's got a lot of backlash. It's got terrible scores. Um, I didn't go see this movie for the acting. In 2014, that Godzilla movie, to me, I mean, yeah, it had a good story and everything, but you only saw Godzilla like on a TV. Like he was on a TV in the movie, like, and that's about it. You might have got another glimpse of him. I mean, I did. I don't go to see a Godzilla movie to see Bryan Cranston or see some actor. I go to see Godzilla destroy things or whatever, kill monsters. Um, and that, and, going back to Swamp Thing, that's what worries me about something like CW getting that show. Don't turn that into a weird teeny bopper thing. Which not saying that they would, but I just don't want to see this show Swamp Thing get ruined. And I hate to see Godzilla getting raked over the coals over. I felt like it got raked over the coals in 2014 because it didn't show enough Godzilla. Now they give us everything we want, and we still complain. And it's not just typical, and you do hear it with the company that shall not be named. There's more of it that goes on than as you realize. But in DC, it goes on a lot of complaining, and like I said, Warner Brothers is deserving of it to a point. They honestly are. They have ruined things or changed things, but they are producing movies that we do want to see. And like I said, yes, we all got caught up into this DC extended universe and this jointed universe of the Justice League of Cavill and Affleck and Momoa and Godot and Miller and Fisher. We would have all liked to have saw that totally flourish into whatever it was going to eventually ripen into. And we didn't get that exactly. I mean, Aquaman's getting ripe, Wonder Woman's ripe, but we've stalled out on the other ones. I'm not sure exactly where we are with like Miller, Fisher, Affleck, Cavill. Not sure. and they all might be gone, and if they are, that's fine, because at some point we were going to have to move on from this anyway. I'm not real sure if by now or within a year or two, if Snyder would have kept his universe going, we would have already been recasting those characters anyway. It was only a matter of time. So, let them produce movies. It's not like they've stalled anything. They're always talking. They're always talking about the next movie. We're going to get movies. Just, like I said, have some patience. But like I said, let's all remember that everything in this life, it's never in its perfect little order and if its perfect little place. It's just rarely ever that way. And a lot of times things that seem that way whenever it first started was chaos, or it was just someone starting something that grew into something huge. And we've got to remember, like, change in life, and like I said, with movies, there's people that like romantic comedies, there's people that like the mind thrillers or whatever. There's movies for everyone. There's people that like just dumb, silly movies and slapstick comedy and just irreverent things and things that are not very smart. There's a market for everyone, and and also like let's take Godzilla for instance, and let's start mashing this up with other things for comparison. And there's definitely, to me, there's popcorn movies. And I've had discussion with friends of mine, like Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad, in a way, in a lot of ways, it's a popcorn movie. You go get your Coke, you get your large tub of popcorn with all the butter on it, and you sit there and you eat popcorn and you drink a Coke, and you watch this movie folds that has a bunch of characters that you love and something a little different. The bad guys are kind of out and they're kind of saving the world or whatever. And it's to me, it's a popcorn movie. And another thing too is, yes, I like smart movies and psychological thrillers and those type things, or investigation type movies, or suspense movies. But take Batman v Superman for instance, and the crap that it got. Do I like watching the Ultimate Edition? Absolutely, I do. And it's a full story. You've got the full investigation, the full story of what went on with the terrorists at the first, with Lois and Olsen and Superman, and the lies and the different deceit, and you get more of the investigation journalism from Lois if you watch that movie. And so the story itself is more melted together if you watch the Ultimate Edition. Do I prefer to watch the Ultimate Edition over the theatrical version? No, I don't. I'll watch the theatrical version because I know the story. I know the deception. I don't have to have the full investigation of it. But do I enjoy that movie? Absolutely. Does it make that movie better for the audience and as a movie? If you're a movie critic or a movie goer and you definitely want to dive deep into a story and that has some twists and things, then watch that Ultimate Edition. But like I said, sometimes I don't need the Ultimate Edition. Sometimes I just want Batman versus Superman, and I want to see it for what it is, and I want to enjoy that movie for what it is and getting the Trinity in it. Like I said, there's different. The Marvel movies are all, or the company that shall not be named. There's definitely a set formula to those movies for the most part. The comedy goes a long way in those movies, like it or not. It's definitely endeared those characters to us. You've changed a character, Thor, that is super boring. I mean, come on. If you liked Thor before, you're boring. And now with Ragnarok and what they've done with him lately, I mean, you've got this totally different Thor that is entertaining in today's day and time. And it works for them. Like I said, remember, but there's people out there that hate that Thor. and they want the regular God of Thunder, Thor in the movies, like it or not. But most people that go to the movies are not deep into the comics and blah blah blah. So you're dealing with a general audience when you're dealing with moviegoers, and DC chose to not cater to that audience, and they let Snyder cater to a comic book, a deep DC audience with games and comics, and using certain visuals and everything that got the true comic book fans fired up and got a story, something that they wanted to see. So, just like I said, remember there is variety out there, and everybody's different. And thank God we are all different. But there's definitely popcorn movies, and just remember that. And if you get a popcorn movie, to me, Thor Ragnarok is a popcorn movie. I mean, um, like I said, Suicide Squad. I love the first act. I love the getting to know everybody and where they come from, and of course some of the cameos in that movie I enjoy with Batman, the Flash, and everything. But it like I said, you've just got to remember that not every movie is made for you. And I know Marvel has spoiled us on that with their formula, and most of their movies being the same. But like I said, try not to be too hard on DC and on some of these movies. Like I said, these people that are so hard on Godzilla, I mean, now they did have a lot of time to maybe make a better story, but my gosh, we got this crazy monster movie that I've been wanting to see for a long time that I felt like that we should have gotten years ago. But man, I mean, I can't wait to own this movie on DVD. I can't wait to go see it for a third time. Like, I love it. I love it. So, just remember about watching movies. And just because you like it and somebody else, they like it or don't or whatever, it don't mean it's good or bad. Everybody has their own taste and their own opinions. So, everybody needs to chill out with some of that. And, but like I said, I don't disagree with, you've got to have a good story. And going back to Swamp Thing and DC and the Doom Patrol. I mean, the Doom Patrol is weird and creepy, and yeah, it's got like weird humor in it, and like it's an odd. I mean, it's not necessarily like a horror movie or anything, or like dealing with horror, but I feel like Swamp Thing is for sure, or to me it is. I think it's horror driven or whatever. So I hate to see that it was canceled. One thing I did want to bring out, and I was going to do a quick tease toys on this little special edition here, a Swamp Thing edition. Let me see here. Was it I think Mattel? Yeah, it's Mattel has done the Batman '80s collection, and it's got like the rainbow Batman, and like it's got different colored Batman figures that they've put out. Like I said, it's called the Batman '80s collection. Check that out. I thought it looked fun. I'm probably going to have to get the stupid light up one or whatever, the rainbow colored one, whatever that one is. But check out that. I just want to mention that in Tease Toys. And I'm out of town this week, and I wasn't going to be able to do what I said with Titus this week. So we're going to have to wait till episode 14 and maybe get everything settled, because I'm shooting this early, and I'm going to be out of town this weekend. I'm going to upload it from the hotel because I'm super busy this week. So I'm getting this episode in and edited, and I'm going to take it with me and upload it hopefully on Thursday night. But thanks for watching Doomsday T on DC, and just want to do a little special Swamp Thing edition for the episode 13, and since I knew I wasn't going to have Titus here. So be good or be good at it, you know what I mean? And this is Doomsday T on DC, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching. See ya.